Mileage taxes aren't a California problem. This is a warning for every driver in America. If you think a tax on every mile you drive sounds extreme, consider this. It's already being tested, phased in, or actively studied across the country. California may be the loudest battleground right now, but it is far from alone. What's unfolding in Sacramento is part of a national shift in how states plan to extract revenue from drivers as gas taxes decline and government spending continues to climb. California lawmakers recently advanced Assembly Bill 1421, a Democratic-led proposal that orders state transportation agencies to continue studying a mileage-based road use tax. The bill does not immediately impose a new fee, but it openly explores replacing or supplementing the gas tax with a per-mile charge that would apply regardless of your vehicle type. That distinction matters because California drivers already face the second highest gasoline prices in the nation, averaging more than $4 per gallon, along with the highest state gasoline tax in the country. Add in vehicle registration fees that rise with car values, special surcharges for electric cars, and compliance costs tied to emissions rules, and transportation has become one of the state's most punishing household expenses. Under mileage tax concepts previously examined by the state, drivers could be charged anywhere from roughly 2 to 9 cents per mile. At California's average annual driving distance, that would mean several hundred to more than several $1,000s per vehicle each year. For families with multiple cars or long commutes, the numbers escalate quickly. Supporters argue this is simply the math of modernization. As cars burn less fuel and electric vehicles grow more in popularity in California, gas tax revenue no longer keeps pace with road use. And the argument is that everyone uses the road, so everyone should pay based on how much they drive. I'm waiting for them to add that to bicycles. Why not? Because they're already going to add it to motorcycles as well. That logic is not unique to California. Oregon and Utah already operate mileage-based road usage programs, though participation has largely been voluntary. Hawaii has moved further, beginning a mandatory road usage charge for electric vehicles as it phases out fuel taxes for those drivers. Washington and Colorado have already put pilot programs in place that are openly studying mileage fees as long-term replacements for gasoline taxes. The common thread across these states is the same justification. Fuel taxes are becoming unreliable. The missing piece in that argument, critics say, is spending discipline, which there is none for any state. California's budget shortfall is measured in tens of billions of dollars, despite years of record tax collections. The state has not run out of revenue so much as it has committed itself to an ever-expanding obligations, rising debt service, and long-term interest payments. And transportation funding has become a convenient pressure point, even though drivers already contribute heavily through multiple overlapping taxes and fees. Electric vehicles further complicate the picture. California claims gas tax revenue is shrinking, yet EV owners already pay higher registration fees specifically designed to offset that loss. Because electric cars tend to be more expensive, those registration taxes are often higher still. And critics argue that the claim of lost revenue ignore those built-in offsets while conveniently justifying new charges. Equity concerns also loom large. Mileage-based taxes hit rural residents and long-distance commuters hardest. And in many parts of the country, driving is not discretionary. Jobs, schools, medical care, and basic services require long trips with no viable public transportation alternative. A per-mile tax effectively penalizes geography and work patterns rather than luxury or choice. Privacy has become another flashpoint. Tracking mileage sounds simple, but enforcement requires data. Whether those GPS-based systems, vehicle telematics, or odometer reporting, mileage taxes open the door to unprecedented monitoring of personal movement. And state officials promise safeguards, but skepticism already remains high, especially in states with aggressive regulatory histories. Even within California's legislature, opposition has been fierce. Lawmakers have warned that layering a mileage tax on top of existing gas taxes and fees could push annual driving costs into thousands for working families. Others caution that once a mileage tracking system exists, it can be expanded, adjusted, or repurposed with little resistance. Proponents insist that these fears are exaggerated and emphasize that many states exploring mileage fees are framing them as replacements, not additions. But history suggests drivers have reason to be cautious. Temporary taxes have a habit of becoming permanent, and promising offsets often lag behind new charges or quietly disappear. What makes California different is scale and influence. Policies tested there often migrate elsewhere. Emissions regulations, fuel standards, and vehicle mandates that became as state-level experiments now shape national markets. A successful mileage tax framework in California would almost certainly accelerate adoption in other states already flirting with the idea. For now, AB 1421 remains a study, not a mandate, but studies signal intent, and intent matters. As electric vehicle mandates expand in that state and gas tax receipts soften, the pressure to tax miles instead of fuel will only grow. The real question is not whether states need to fund the roads, it's whether drivers should trust governments that have been struggling to control spending to fairly manage a system that charges citizens simply for moving through their own communities. California may be the first in line for a full-scale mileage tax, but it will not be the last. Drivers nationwide should be wise to pay attention for what they call studying the idea quietly turns into paying for every mile, plus the gasoline tax. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.